My mom is probably the most positive person I've ever met and experienced in my life. And even through all of this, she's maintained that positivity 100%. And to have that energy, to have that positivity and be around that when things like this are going on, it leaves like a lasting impression forever. My mom said, "I'm really gonna miss you guys." That was another moment that just like really hit hard. That was one of those things that you never forget. I can play that whole week out my head, minute by minute, second by second. I remember my mom being told she was going home on hospice. And that was the first moment she realized that we were preparing for what was inevitable.
In June of 2019, my mom passed away with ovarian cancer. She fought that fight for 6 months. Earlier that year, she was diagnosed. It was advanced stage 4, and no matter what we did, the doctors did, the hospitals did, my mom did, it couldn't be fought. It destroyed her, it killed her. And coming off of that, it was very, very difficult. You see, my mom passed away in the home that I grew up on hospice. And when she passed away, I was sleeping on the floor next to the couch she was sleeping on. And I was sleeping on the floor because it was my responsibility to give her morphine every couple hours on a schedule to dull the pain that she was experiencing. And when she passed away, I was on the floor next to her. And I tell that story because the following month, July of 2019, that's when I started training for my first Ironman. That's when I truly found endurance training. You see, I combated a hard with another hard. It didn't make it easy, it made it easier. Because that hard that I was choosing, the Ironman prep, the runs, the bikes, the swimming, the hours of training provided me, it rewarded me solitude. Solitude with perspective. To think about my mom's life, the way she lived, the way she taught, the way she listened, the way she observed, her values, what was important to her. That Ironman prep provided me so much reward and solitude, and that was through endurance training. That Ironman prep was in July 2019 in Central Texas. It was hot. It was 100+ degree days for most days of training. It was difficult. It was hard. As Chad Wright says, be hard when it gets hard. And what I did to not necessarily overcome, but deal with and adapt to my mom's passing from ovarian cancer, watching her pass right next to me in the home that I grew up in, and then funneling that hard into a prep, into solitude, into endurance training. It wasn't necessarily that the workouts themselves were relatively hard compared to what I went through with my mom's passing, but it was choosing hard right over the easy wrong, choosing to wake up and train, choosing to wake up and run 20 miles when I didn't want to, choosing to wake up and get on that bike for 6 hours when it's the last thing I wanted to do. Sometimes the best way to deal with and combat hard is with another hard. Choose to be hard when it gets hard. So the thing is, hard plus hard is not harder all the time or easier. It can get easier.